Hello everybody, this is Chaos with Thunderdog eSports, bringing you game number 2 of the Top Dog League, Week 3. We've got ViViD Gaming going up against Prometheus Gaming. Let's go ahead and introduce our players here on Yonsu Ladder Edition. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner for Prometheus Gaming, it is going to be Auna. And spawning in the upper right-hand frosty portion of this map, it is going to be ViViD Gaming's Striker. So a very convincing win by Prometheus Gaming last game. We had a ZVZ that went pretty well in Prometheus Gaming's favor. Very, very nice opening. Something weird happened with ViViD, and they decided to go for something really strange with a Evo block on the second gas, which is kind of an interesting play. I've never really seen it before. So we'll have to see whether or not ViViD Gaming can bring it back with Striker. Apparently we've got some lag issues that happened in this game. So once again, if you haven't already, checking out the Top Dog website, all that information is down in the description. Feel free to check them out, and also come see us play this live, or cast this live, I guess, 8 p.m. on Tuesdays Central Time. We have a simulator block, which is interesting, coming out of Striker. So definitely looking to inhibit the gas income, which is kind of interesting. A lot of time, that is usually, that's kind of weird. I haven't seen that a whole lot here in the Heart of the Swarm. Usually this was to prohibit your opponent from teching very fast. And basically by taking this, you pretty much limit them to what they can do in the early game. Obviously they have to get at least a Zealot out to deal with this, and you just kind of force certain things out of your opponent, which is kind of interesting. So we'll have to see if Striker uses this to his advantage, as he is getting double gas, which means he's probably going to be going for a slightly quicker tech route. It's also interesting because ooh, hello. I hit the wrong button. Anyways, it's also interesting because he gets a little bit of vision of what's going on inside his opponent's base. Now, he's not going to get the information about the cybernetics core, whether or not it's being chrono boosted or anything like that, just because it's outside of his vision. But if anything were to get planted down in here for the time being, he would be in an interesting position. So we do have a random pylon potentially going down by Striker, which is a little bit out of the way, in my opinion. I feel like this is really, really far off. I think it would be way better off over here by the third. Obviously we got a little pings from the replay. But yeah, so looks like Striker, okay, I'm not sure what the deal is with the pings, but anyways, so Zealot's going to be taking out this first gas, or the gas that was taken by his opponent for now. So it's going to be a little bit of a resource loss for his opponent, but nothing too fancy. Meanwhile, we do not have any probe production coming out of Striker, so it looks like he's going to play a little bit more of a cheesy style. Going to go for a proxy Oracle most likely at this rate. We do have a Mothership core coming out for both players, and Striker is trying to deny the scouting that the probe has, but the probe's going to more or less get in here and say, okay, something's fishy. I'm not sure what's up, but something's not looking right. So he's definitely going to have an idea that something is up, as we do see a Stalker. I would assume another Stalker come out here very shortly. He is going to go ahead and move his Mothership core up in the appropriate direction, which actually should be able to scout that. Whether or not it'll be in time to deal with the Oracle itself will be in question, but I think overall Auna is doing a pretty good job of keeping an eye out for anything crazy going on. Has a very nice scouting pattern, and is overall in it looks like he diverted from his path, so he is not too weary of what's going on, but he is still a little bit suspicious. Now, as far as vision goes, he's not really going to scout this Oracle from coming in, so Auna is definitely going to need to put himself into a pretty good position. 1, 2, 3 probes are going to go down pretty much instantly. 4, maybe 5. Okay, so 5, there's 5. Okay, so we got 6, 7. Ooh, this is starting to be a lot of damage. This Oracle has more or less paid for itself. We are probably going to have a, actually no, No photon overcharge coming out. So yeah, that Oracle more than less than paid for himself. 10 probe kills. Looking at the units tab, we see 22 probes to 16. So yeah, so Striker definitely has a nice little advantage for the time being. As his probe production, I'm surprised it stopped. He's only going to give his opponent a little bit more of an edge to get back into it. I would have thought that he would have tried to expand at this point, but Auna is on the offensive. Here he comes. He's going to try and take out the Mothership Core before a Photon Overcharge goes down, but it will be done in time. And now Auna is just kind of left to more or less sit back, and he feels like he's done the damage that he needs to do, and is going to go ahead and back off. We do have a proxy pylon out here on the map for both players, actually, so it does look like that Striker wants to start to be on the offensive as his Mothership Core and the rest of his units are moving out. Now the 4 Stalkers are being left behind, which is kind of interesting, as looking for the answers, and that Void Ray might get not going to get picked off. One of these Stalkers is going to go down, and this really is not an engagement that Auna wants to take. The Void Ray is starting to do a significant amount of damage, and I'd say Striker's in a very, very good position to be aggressive with this. Now, he is trying to go in with his Oracle once again and get a little bit more probe kills, and yeah, it looks like the offensive is on. A couple Stalkers getting into the main. Wow, that Oracle's doing a lot of damage, taking out 2 Stalkers. And yeah, this is going to be looking pretty bad for Striker. Striker is now going to be dealing with that Photon Overcharge by Auna's Nexus, and I'd say at this point it's definitely looking very, very bad for Auna. Pylon is going to go down in the main, up the ramp for Striker, so he's definitely in a very, very offensive position. Now he's going to go ahead and try and pick off some of these Stalkers outside of the range of the Photon Overcharge, but he's got to be very, very careful not to have too much damage be done on some of these Stalkers, so he's basically just waiting for that Photon Overcharge to be finished so he can move in once again. Granted, there is a second Photon Overcharge, so Auna will be able to defend this off for a little bit, but I think overall it's kind of a stalemate until the Photon Overcharge is done. It basically boils down to whether or not either player can get out a decent enough units. Ooh, that Pylon would be a nice little victory. Doesn't want, had he supply blocked his opponent, that would have put his opponent in a very awkward situation, considering a Pylon just now is finishing and he would have had not enough time to warp in more units. So yeah, Striker at this point is just looking for his edge, how to get his opponent out of his base and continue on this game. Now, meanwhile, there's really not much going on back in Striker's base. He's more or less just been focusing on this engagement. So if something were to go awry and this engagement not go in his favor, he's more or less going to forfeit this game. So we'll have to see whether or not he can actually take it off here. I'm really surprised that Blink isn't being researched or even charged. That would give... Ooh, probes are being pulled to try and take this engagement. A couple force fields are going to get planted down here by those sentries. It looks like a time warp is going down. One of the pylons is going to fall, and it looks like the rest of the sentries are going to get taken out. Now, a lot of these probes did die, and the question of the day is, will he have enough? Stalkers are dying left and right, and Auna is trying to hold on little by little, but it does look like Auna is going to be able to push this back, and Striker is in actually a pretty comfortable position. He knows he killed a lot of probes with that, and all he has to do is continue getting units at this point. He knows he's got the economic advantage, and all he really needs to do is just get another... Ooh, 1 sentry is going to go down for free. That's not good. Yeah, really all he needs to do is put himself into a position to continue producing units, and he's going to actually go ahead and throw down his expansion as well. So yeah, so Striker's definitely looking in a very dominating position. Obviously, he's got still starting to create his probes again, and his opponent is still rapidly trying to get his production back in line with his opponent. So we'll have to see whether or not he's going to be able to come out of this. We don't have any tech structures coming out of Auna, whereas his opponent is already getting his robotics facility to start moving into the most likely immortal production. That is definitely going to be a nice little added bonus to this current army composition. So I'm really surprised we haven't seen any activity coming out of this pylon. Maybe 1 zealot to kind of stir up what was going on in the main would have been a nice little added bonus for him. But obviously didn't quite make use of that that little... Auna says pause, and they have random stuff going on. And it looks like everything is back in order because it's a replay. Yay! So yeah, so he's got a handful of stalkers in the main to try and deal with any type of shenanigan harassment that might happen. But yeah, so Striker is pretty confident that he just wants to move back. He's okay where things are. We do have Immortal production now on the way, and Blink is just about done for Auna. So both players are finally starting to get their tech in line. And Striker is definitely looking to be in a very, very good position to take this game as his natural is finished up and he is starting to get a lot of probes down on it. So yeah, so at this point I think Striker's in a pretty good position to just sit back, get out his composition that he wants, or whatever composition that he wants, and just go for it. I'm still really surprised that this Stargate didn't get picked off. It's been here the entire game. And it looks like Auna is looking to do a little bit of a damage. Now, the question of the day is, will he be able to... What would be really cool... Okay, so he just wanted to get in, see what his opponent was doing, and get out of there. It would have been really cool to see him like blink onto the ramp and get up here, just to blink the rest of his army up to the top of the ramp. So Photon Overcharge is going to go down. A couple force fields are going to parsect off a handful of those stalkers, and it looks like at this point Auna really just needs to back off because there's no way he's going to be able to take that engagement in a favorable manner. So we'll have to see if he's going to continue this aggression as we see it coming down. Now he's going to go ahead and kill one of the sentries. Both of the sentries are going to go down, but at the cost of a handful of stalkers. Yeah, he's just not able to trade very efficiently with this. We do have a full sentry energy on this sentry, so he could easily put up a hallucinated phoenix or something to blink up into the main if that's what he chooses. But it doesn't look like that's what he's thinking at this point. So yeah, at this point, Auna's more or less all in. He hasn't chosen to expand. He's just been focusing on getting out units and is trying to do as much damage as possible. Blink in onto the Immortal. Will it be enough, though? The Immortals are doing a lot of damage. The second Immortal is going to go down. Probes are being pulled, and it looks like Auna's going to be pushed back for the time being, but still, Auna's losing a significant number of units with each engagement. He definitely needs to be very, very careful about what he does. Now, third Immortal coming out and going to get a little bit of damage done, but it will get taken out fairly quickly. And with Blink, it looks like Auna's going to try and back out here as quickly as possible. Zealots coming in, trying to do some damage, actually getting a fair amount of damage, but all of these Stalkers are very, very low health, and it's going to be very, very hard for Auna to actually take an engagement with this. A couple more Stalkers are going to fall as they retreat, as well as this Proxy Pylon. So yeah, with the supply deficit of about 30 now, Auna's definitely not looking in a very good position to take really any engagement. He really needs to fall back and try and get some type of tech advantage, whether it be Dark Templars or Storm's really not really the option. He really just needs some tech, is what it boils down to. So Auna's going to be scouting around. He's like, where the heck did that Stargate go? Oh, there it is! So he's going to go ahead and take out this pylon and deal with that for the time being, which is kind of an odd decision because it's like, okay, I'm going to let these guys do that for now, I guess, and then I'll plant down my proxy pylon. So yeah, so it looks like he's going to try and do another assault, but I really don't feel like he's got the unit composition. With only Stalkers, the Zealots can tank pretty much most of the shots, and the Immortals added in just do the extra DPS that's needed to deal with pretty much the sole Stalker army. So definitely not looking good for Auna. Definitely going to be nice for ViViD Gaming to tie up the series, or I guess the game series. Anyway, so he's going to try and go in here and do a little bit of damage as some of those Zealots are taking a little bit of hull damage. But, Auna's really not looking to take a fight. And he's like, truly amazing this game. How trash you are. Lots of BM. Wow. Lots of BM. Holy cow. So, I hope you guys enjoyed Game 2. While it did have an anticlimactic ending, we'll have to see how things end up here in game number 3, and we are now tied 1-1, ViViD Gaming and Prometheus Gaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next game. Thank you guys for tuning in for game number 2. Feel free to click the right-hand button for game number 3. The left-hand button is going to be for game number 1 in case you missed it. Feel free to check both of those out. If you enjoyed the casting, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscriber button down in the lower left-hand corner. It's greatly appreciated. Also, you can also hit the logo for Thunderdog eSports here above, and feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All those links in the description. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, if you did like the video, feel free to go ahead and hit that like button, as well as share with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and get the word out about the Top Dog League series here for the pro team. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game.